Okay, the recording has started. So just let everyone know that you are being recorded. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Honors Week 2024. Um, I am very excited about this year's week, and I know that we would all benefit from it here, especially our students for which we are arranging it. I'm Dr. Karen Stander. I am the Honors Degree Coordinator for the Department of Business Management, and for this week, I am the Program Coordinator. You are all here to either help, or you are students that are on a journey that you have started and you have decided to start to get your first postgraduate degree. And the difference from postgraduate to from undergraduate to postgraduate is indeed a big jump for us to make. So, and I think for a lot of you, might be also the first of many Teams meetings that you would be in. So I just want to draw your attention to the house rules, please. So while I do appreciate I've put my video on so you can all see who I am, and the speakers will do the same, to allow for bandwidth where we are and where many of our students are, please try to keep your cameras off except when you are speaking or engaging. Um, this will just keep things a bit more under control. We do expect in excess of 140 people coming in and out of this meeting. So if everybody's talking together and everybody's videos are on, then we do struggle a little bit with this. Then yeah, so that's the only thing. Again, just to reiterate, I am recording the meeting, so there is a recording happening at the moment. Please try to avoid the recording controls. I will check every once in a while that the recording is still running. We are at 78 people, chair of the department. I think we are doing well for early on a Monday morning. So I just want to say welcome, and colleagues, thank you all for coming and for supporting the Department of Business Management. I do think this is good for our students. And as we start this race together with them and they can meet us and be here, I thank you all for coming. And I will hand over to the chair of the department, Prof. Boya, to just open Honors Week for us.
Thank you, Program Director Dr. Stanner. Good morning, everybody. I would like to take this time to thank each and every one of you for gracing this occasion, which is the Honors Week, a very important day in our calendar as academics and as students. This is a new turf, this is a new journey that maybe you may be undertaking as students. We warmly welcome you to the Honors Week, but to the Department of Business Management. If you are coming for the first time, then welcome back if you've been part of us before. We are hoping for a successful 2024 journey with you. As you may be aware, the Department of Business Management is the largest commercial department within SADC. So we have a lot of work to do. We are inundated with work, but we are having capable people who are committed to the academic project to see through our journey. I would just like to greet you and say all protocol observed. I cannot see who else is here, especially those who are senior to me. I say all protocol observed and thank you for joining us. The Department of Business Management has first year 4 subsections, one of which is first years. We have general management, We have strategy and international management. We also have postgraduate studies. Uh, that's where honors subjects fall under, and coordinated by Dr. Stanner and her team. We welcome you on that front. What we want to put across is that let's communicate. Don't sit in your corner and only come back to us when there is a challenge. Let's be proactive and keep in touch with us. We want to hear from you on how we can do things and work forward. There's a saying, and I quote without knowing the author, that says proper preparations prevents uh, poor performance. It's 5 P's: proper preparation, prevent poor performance. So let's start on time, colleagues, so that we don't find ourselves in the red. We know that you are working, most of you. You have families and you have other commitments to work on. We are also studying, by the way. We've also studied, we are continuing to study. We have families and commitments. But all in all, we are trying to manage our work and our studies as much as possible. So let let that not be the main excuse when we are late on our submissions and so forth. And if you know for sure that you will be very busy at work, it's prudent that you defer your studies to the next period instead of uh, uh, putting the university and yourself under pressure, wanting to be admitted and setting yourself for failure. So that's where we requested you do. Sessions like this are important where we interact. Continue to attend as many sessions as possible. There'll be interventions where we teach you about issues of academic integrity, issues of how to deal with exams. We have manuals on exam preparations and so forth. Please, these are prepared for you. Go through them and make sure you understand them. The proctoring tools.
The direct everything was sent except at that time there was only one that wasn't directly.
Yes, the proctoring tools and other things needs to be something that we are aware of. And then there's this myth that UNISA, we want our students to fail. It's an indictment on us if you don't succeed. We want you to succeed. We have our throughput targets. We want, if it was possible, all of you would pass, but you need to meet the threshold so that our qualification has the credibility it requires. So you need to put in your weight, then you will be able to be successful in your studies. We get subsidy from government. And if you fail, they never say that, but it's my money that I'm using. Part of the money that you get for your studies, it's been subsidized by government. And that money, if you don't succeed, have been used to feed a poor child, to do a lot of things. So take your studies very seriously and make sure that you succeed and make everyone else proud. We have a mandate on issues of throughput, so it is important to do that. To know that we also have engaged scholarship projects within our department. Three, one of which is cattle dogs that maybe when they get a chance, the program director, Dr. Stanner, will share some light on. We also have a leader of business education and skills, which is Dr. Mavasa. We are hoping that they may find time to share some light on what is happening. Please get involved in those. We want you that beyond your qualification, you are able to run a successful business of your own so that you can have issues of poverty and unemployment. We also have the Dean's Leadership Session. It will take place on the 26th of this month. We'll try by various platforms to invite you. Please join that. It will talk about graduateness, issues of strategy and the economy, but basing our main key driver being the artificial intelligence, which is a thorny issue in this point in time. Another thing that I thought I should just drive home before I step down is issue of academic dishonesty, colleagues. Academic dishonesty is an embarrassment for all of us that we don't need in our society. It's because you are setting, if you are dishonest, you are setting a precedence for your life. It's like you're building a case for yourself of trying to cheat the system and manipulating the system. You cannot be a blessed person doing such things. So let us stay away from those things. These are the things that are setting our society behind. We have to adjudicate and find evidence and write memos, hold meetings because one or few students were dishonest in their uh, uh, writing of exams or assignments. Refrain from doing that, colleagues. It's unnecessary. If you are not ready, you are not ready. Refrain from cutting corners. Life is not about cutting corners. It always catches up with us at some point. That's why bridges are falling. It's because people cut corners and they passed, they graduated. How do you celebrate your graduation? Take pictures, put them on social media, celebrate and smile and have this kind of joy, knowing that some of your modules you cut corners in order to pass. It cannot be. Let's stay away from that. It's unnecessary. It creates a lot of unnecessary work for all of us to try to prove to you that you were dishonest. Let's stay away from academic dishonesty. If it is not your work, it is not your work. Ask your creator, your deity, to give you the strength and the knowledge to create your own content in responding to questions that we have pitted against. If you are not sure, please ask your lecturers that I'm not clear on this question. Can you explain? They won't send you away. They will help you. And where you are supposed to work as an individual, work as an individual and complete your assignment. Where you are supposed to work as a team, be a good team player and support your fellow teammates so that you are successful. We wish you all the best. We are confident that this will be a successful year for you. You will make us proud. You will continue in your quest to succeed. We are also looking forward that beyond this honors, some of the good students, and I know most of you we will work with you through the master's program that we may have, and there could be also opportunities for bursaries to that effect. And we are also looking that you can also acquire your PhDs with us. On that note, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to say that by the fact that you've attended this, I'm already proud of you. And I wish you the best, the Department of Business Management, the School of Management Science, and the College of Economic and Management Sciences wish you well. They wish you well on your academic journey, and we will try our very best to support you in the best way possible. I'll hand over the reins to Dr. Stanner and the team and to everybody who's going to participate in this event. Thank you in advance. God bless. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Prof. Boya. And yes, you all have made the decision to be here. So while running a race and starting off on a race is never an easy task to do. It's important if you look at what the Boston Marathon four-time winner he says, if he has any advice for beginners, right? When you run with consistency. It's the same with starting on your honors. Start consistently, moderate yourself, do your part, because if you do your own part and you get there, then you can, like Prof. Boya said, truly celebrate your own achievements. If you do not do the work yourself or you outsource it, whether or not it's copy and pasting, and you will learn all these different things about it. What are you celebrating? You need to be able to get there. Your education is the one thing nobody can ever take away from you. And here we are. So now I'm going to hand over to Dr. Judah Kufa. She is the chair of our QA committee in the department, and she does a lot of interesting research. She's going to facilitate a, a session on previous students. We have a student here, the one student that is in the meeting already as a Randir, and she will speak to you about that. So I am handing over to Dr. Judah Kufa.
Good morning. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Let me switch on my camera. I'm not a chatbot. I'm a human being. Yes, my task today is somewhat simple, but exciting because we want to get to know you. We want you to know us as your lecturers. We want to attach, we are in this virtual world. When I saw the topic there on getting to hear student experiences, learning how to work as a group or in a group, teamwork, I just thought, well, we've been working in teams since perhaps conception, I suppose. So we've been getting information. We partnered with our mother in the womb. We absorbed information and knowledge from the womb. And when we came out from the womb, we had a team that we had to learn about, which is the family. We had to navigate that space. And once you're done learning about the family, there's the extended family, their friends, all those we've had to navigate, managing relationships from that point. And yeah, and we keep on doing it in the workspace, in whatever committees and communities you're part of a team. So I don't think it's anything different from working with others in a team. I know that for most of your modules at honors level, you have to do some group work and you have to work in a team. I was doing a little bit of research on that. Just excuse me, I'm looking at another screen. Then I saw these 7 personalities that are found in teams. We have the organizer. I think that's where I fall Prof. Boya and Dr. Stander, who likes to put everything together and, checklists and making sure the meeting is set up on time, making sure invites are done, making sure everyone is there, everything is prim and proper. We have the driver, a leader who likes to keep the team focused. When we deviate, we have such, I've experienced them. They always bring you back to point that, no, we are not here to chat about whatever tea you
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think there's someone's mic, which is
Judah, your mic is muted.
I think I
just
got muted. Yes. I think
sorry.
it's fine. Where did you last hear me? Who was I talking about?
About
but before-
someone's mic being on. That's where we lost you. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me get back. I think I spoke about the organizer, the driver, and then we have the visionary, the one who is creative, the engine of the group, who, yes. And then we have the naysayer. Yes, I was talking about the naysayer. You know, we have one in my family. We call them the doomsday prophecy. Whatever you say, they're going to probably come up with a million things why things may go wrong. And believe it or not, such a person is required because the kind of disruption that they bring in the network makes you think outside the box and to look at things in a different way. You have the diplomat, the one who focuses on the common good for everybody. We have the expert, the one who's knowledgeable, the one you go to. Oh, I don't know how to do Teams. I don't know how to put this fancy diagram. How do I make my presentation look good? You always have that one, the expert. Then you have the wild card. Yes, this one is somebody totally different from everybody. They add value, especially when you're coming up with ideas because they're different. They think and view the world so differently. So I'm setting the scene because you are going to experience different personalities in your groups when you're working. People are going to be coming in your group from who have constructed their own form of knowledge. They have gained it from wherever they're coming from. But I would like you to view, I think Dr. Stander and my colleagues here will agree, take in each wealth of knowledge, learn from one another and support one another. And yes, then you will enjoy the experience. Yes, I don't know if Reddy is Randy. Yes, is available. I'm going to put in a little poll whilst we are hearing some different perspectives. I would also like to leave room, Dr. Stander, if there's any, just to pick on a few. I'm going to just call one or two just to tell us, why are you here? What are you expecting? Just after the other students have given us some inspiration. I can give it over to, I think it's student Randy.
Perfect.
Good morning. Thank you, professors, doctors. Good day, students. Congratulations on being accepted into this exciting program. Your hard work and achievements have earned you the rights into this wonderful opportunity, and I encourage you to make the most of it. This program is intense and will push you out of your comfort zone. But it is also an incredible opportunity to integrate everything that you've learned and put your skills into action. I believe it is one of the best ways to build character, resilience, and social skills. It will set you up for a successful career. Everything you experience during this program is immensely valuable. As an honors student, you are embarking on a unique journey where knowledge isn't just acquired, but actively constructed. And I'm going to use that word, that phrase throughout this discussion. It is actively constructed. Your mindset will be crucial in shaping this process. And the diversity of worldviews and perspectives you will encounter in this program will enrich the outcomes that you obtain. Remember that knowledge isn't just a set of facts. It is transformational and can change your entire being. The power of knowledge is truly remarkable, and it will change how you see and interact with the world. You are at a pivotal point where everything you have learned and will learn will reshape your worldviews. Be prepared to acquire new skills, discover more about yourself, and observe the changes in your perception of the world. This program was truly invaluable in providing me with the opportunity to acquire and refine new skills. Through this experience, I was able to gain perspectives on the challenges I face both at work and in my personal life. By connecting the dots, I found better ways of approaching various tasks and learned to appreciate my job, my colleagues, my friends, and my teachers even more. I also discovered that having the right mindset is essential for success. The previous speakers, Dr. Stander, Professor Boya, have all alluded to mindset and celebrating success. And I think that this study program is all about mindset as well. And it shapes how we approach our goals and our objectives. It helps us resolve stress and setbacks. And very importantly, how we interact with others, whether that's in group work, at teamwork, at work, in our communities, wherever else it is, you will find that this program shapes how you think and you approach these life challenges and experiences. Incorporating reflection in your daily routine can be a game changer. It allows you to see things from a fresh perspective and identify areas for improvement. Additionally, it helps you receive feedback in a positive light. Ultimately, the most significant outcome of this program was personal growth for me. I learned that knowledge is limitless and has the power to transform, but it requires qualities such as humility, acceptance, trust, curiosity, and creativity. Figure 1 in this presentation illustrates the feedback loop between our self perception, our approach to life, and our growth. The previous speaker talked about the types of people that you will encounter in groups, etc. Some may have a fixed mindset, some may be naysayers, some may be enthusiastic people, open minded. They have a growth mindset. They're willing to accept criticism and critiques, and they're willing to develop from that. We must accept everyone for whom they are, but also we must aspire to have a growth mindset. And one of the wonderful things about studying at UNISA is that it pushed and stretched me into becoming a growth mindset advocate. And it's been brilliant for me. It This figure illustrates the feedback loop between our self-perception, our approach to life, and our aspirations for growth. By embracing a growth-oriented, open-minded, and curious mindset, we continue to experience personal growth and professional growth, which is represented in figure 2. If we get this right, we become our best selves. We engage in giving back. We take ownership and we continuously enhance our lives and ourselves and our communities. And I think that's what UNISA is about. It's not just about facts and it's not just about a degree. It's about that growth that we sorely need in our society. The acquisition of knowledge is a multi-dimensional process that shapes our behaviors and reactions to the world, ultimately transforming us in profound ways. As we emerge from this process, we are no longer the same person we were before. This transformation is unmistakable and results in increased positive visibility, which paves the way for new opportunities to come your way. These opportunities provide a platform for practicing our skills, applying our knowledge, and further improving ourselves. When I was an honors student, I had the privilege of gaining exposure to numerous opportunities within my community and my workplace. Embracing these challenges and opportunities not only brought me recognition, but also allowed me to choose the assignments that resonated with me and my values. My honors journey led to several remarkable achievements. I received a workplace award at the end of 2022. I was nominated to serve on various committees, including climate risk, and I was asked to participate in the establishment of a departmental learning academy at work. I've been participating in sustainability workshops hosted by the United Nations, and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and I became a trustee in a community trust. However, I recognize that these accomplishments are not mine. They were never mine. They were made possible by the exceptional teachers who guided me along the way. They taught me how to think critically, to research ethically, to write effectively, effective team management, and to speak confidently. They supported me, they inspired me, and they challenged me throughout my honors journey. This is their success, and I am deeply grateful to them. I feel so lucky and proud to have had such a wonderful honors experience. The honors program, as Dr. Boya said, and Professor Suda, um, Dr. Stander had mentioned, is a demanding academic pursuit that will test your resilience and confidence. At times, you may feel overwhelmed and you will even question your decision to pursue this qualification. There will be days when it seems like you're not making any progress. You will feel like you're walking on an escalator that is moving in the opposite direction. Such feelings are natural, but it is important to find positive coping mechanisms. One of the most valuable outcomes of my honors journey was discovering new coping strategies that can be applied in other areas of life. These challenges provided an excellent opportunity to learn new coping skills, to reflect and to understand one's strengths and limitations. The final thought that I want to share with you is academic integrity, which is a very important topic for all students. Academic integrity is a commitment to 6 fundamental values, which is honesty, honesty to yourself, to your community, to your peers, to your workplace, to past, present, and future students. It's about trust, it's about fairness, it is about respect, responsibility, and courage. These values guide our actions and the decisions that we take in our academic studies, in research, and in professional life. Academic integrity is important because it builds trust, it builds credibility in our work and in the academic community. It also helps us develop skills, the culture that is necessary to propel us in our personal, professional, and academic lives. It helps develop knowledge that will benefit us in the future. It prepares us for the very real tests of our character and competence in the workplace. And I cannot stress this more importantly because the behaviors, the culture, the attitudes you learn here, you're going to be taking elsewhere and you're going to be taking it to work. However, academic integrity is not always easy to maintain. Some students face many challenges and temptations in their academic journey. They face stress, they face doubt, frustration, and then there's the lure of shortcuts or the easy way out. This can lead them to compromise their integrity and to engage in academic dishonesty, such as plagiarism, cheating, using paper mills, or external tutors. Academic dishonesty can have serious consequences, not only for our grades, but for our reputation and future opportunities. It impacts everyone, including society, negatively. It can also lead to larger acts of harm, such as fraud, malfeasance, and even corruption. Professor Boyer alluded to some very good examples of bridges that fall down, patients that get killed due to negligence, people that get run over on the road. by students that cheated in their learners' exams. And these are, I think, very good glaring examples of people who have cheated and the wrong culture that pervades society. And it starts somewhere. It generally starts with people who find the easy way out. And I will share with you some examples of academic dishonesty and the impacts that it has. From the Volkswagen emission scandal to the Tyrannus fraud case. The Tyrannus fraud case was a biomedical ethics fraud that damaged so many lives. The Enron fraud case, our own fraud case with Steinhoff that led to so much of economic hardships and people losing their pension funds. These examples show us how academic dishonesty can have devastating effects on individuals, organizations, and society. Therefore, I urge you to maintain academic integrity in your honors study and beyond. I will give you some tips on how to do so, such as being honest, being fair, respectful, courageous, seeking help, and using positive coping strategies. Remember that academic integrity is not only a requirement but also a reward. It is a reflection of who you are and what you value. It is a way of learning, growing, and succeeding with integrity. At the end of all of this, you are constructing a better you to better serve yourself, your family, your community, your employers, and society. My honors journey was one of the greatest experiences that I've had the privilege to have had. Professor Boya, the previous speaker, and Dr. Standa, and everyone that you will have the privilege of hearing today will talk about the good experiences from an education. For me, the honors journey shaped who I am today and has accelerated who I am. I'm not the same person I was when I had undertaken my honors journey. I see everything anew. I see the world in a better light. I'm a better person. I've learned to be consistent in so many ways. And I don't think that that learning journey has ended. It will continue. And the previous speakers also alluded to the fact that they also studying, they also learning. And it is a wonderful journey. It's a community of self-discovery. And I wish you all the best. And if you work consistently, you work hard, you work smart, you work in the groups, the sky is the limit. I cannot tell you how much you can achieve. There is definitely no limit, but the key is yourself. Respect the academics, respect yourself, respect the writers of journals, other students at other universities, and I can almost assure you that you will be the best person you are. Thank you so much, Unisa, for everything that you've done for me. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak today. Thank you so much. Over to the convener.
Thank you so much for sharing. Wow, growth mindset, taking ownership, respect, constructive feedback. We've heard about embracing challenges. We've heard about resilience, positive coping mechanisms. We've heard about the impact of infringement on academic integrity. I think it stems from respect for yourself, respect for your lecturers, respect for your fellow students and fellow Unisians out there and alumni. Yes, I saw there was a hand. Was it a mistake? Or because I would like one or two of us, if you're willing to just raise your hand, just to share why you're here. I've launched a poll. I don't know if you're able to see it. We just want to know where you're from, where you're coming from, where you're sitting right now. We just want to know why you're here. Please, I'll leave this poll open for a while. Please respond back to us so that we may have some sense of, who we are teaching, who we are sitting with in this room. Yes, are there any hands? Otherwise, I'm going to start calling out names. You know us as lecturers, we enjoy calling out names. I'll just pretend you're sitting in the front row. Yes, is there anyone who'd like to share with us why you're here? What drove you to enroll for an honors degree? I'll give you 2 seconds and then I'm starting to call out names, Dr. Standard. Yes.
You're welcome to begin.
Yes, Tumelo, you've saved everybody.
Well, thank you, Dr. Charakufa and colleagues. Well, I'm here I enrolled for an honors because I wanted to grow as a person. And my ultimate goal is to learn the principles that will help me to hopefully start my own business in the next 2 to 3 years. So that is my why. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have entrepreneurs there. We have entrepreneurs, Prof. Boyer, Dr. Standard. I saw Sophia's hand. You can put down your hand, Tumelo. We have 2 minutes. I saw Sophia's hand somewhere. Okay, Maria.
Hi, I'm Sophia.
Yes, Sophia, and then Maria.
I am, it's 3 a.m. in the US, and I did my BCom degree at UNISA many moons ago, 4 children before this. And I'm an educator, and I work in the US in the education system, not as a teacher. And I decided to pursue my honors through UNISA because I'm learning so much here, and I want to progress with what I'm learning through UNISA as well.
Oh, there is some commitment there. You can switch off your camera. Thank you for sharing with us. Yes, Maria.
Everybody. I am on an academic journey, so I am on the road to masters. So this is part of the way to get to where I am going. And I am really hoping to get out of this particular qualification the ability to transfer my thoughts, because I think the education system, in the way it's been structured, it has been more of, before you get to the honors level, you learn, you regurgitate, and everybody's happy. So now you need to actually apply some of the learnings and actually go out and create knowledge to be able for other people to able to reuse in the future. So that is my goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. I think we have room for just one more hand, if there is another one. Yes, yes, please take the podium.
Good morning, Dr. Chorokufa. My name is Portia. I am joining from Hartbeespoort Dam, just outside Pretoria. I have done my junior degree in strategic management through UNISA. I'm very passionate about strategy. I am a strategy facilitator by profession, and I'm hoping to gain a lot in this week. I'm very excited about this week. I'm hoping that the information that I will learn from this week will help me become a better person, like the previous speaker has spoken. I must say that the previous speaker that has spoken has really uplifted, you know, how I feel about this program. I'm very excited and I'm willing to give it my all so that I am a proud previous student myself in the next coming years to be in this platform to motivate others. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Portia. Thank you to all the students who have shared. You're going to get me into trouble if I keep taking hands, but okay. Yes, I will give you a chance, Luanda, and that's it. Please don't get me into trouble. Yes, we cannot hear you. There
Sorry
we
for
go.
that. Good morning, doctors, professors, and fellow students. My name is Luanda Rwetlana Zazini. I've decided to join this course because I wanted to make a difference. I'm currently working in Parliament. I'm the executive assistant to the head of communication. I in my studies, I followed the communication path, but then I thought there is a gap in me. I need to, to hone there in the administration side of things, because we Parliament, we are in charge of monitoring how the government is spending money, and are they spending according to what they have promised. So I thought this course has more in that, and I will make a difference in our strategic plannings and all that. Because this course centers in developing and establishing nation of government initiatives. So I thought, let me go and do it, and then I'll learn something. I definitely so. And given the support that is given by UNISA to the students, this online initiative, we are able to work at the same time to be able to attend classes, not only attend classes, to do your job and do research. They are all facilities. So I thought, let me do this course through UNISA, and yeah, here I am. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. Wow. I hope that my colleagues, I'm so excited. You can switch off your camera, Luanda.
Thank you.
I am so excited by the caliber of students that are sitting here, Dr. Standard. Please continue to fill out the poll. I don't know if you're able to see it, but over to you. I have so much to say, but I will.
I know,
I've gone
you're
over time.
welcome. You're welcome. I just want to say welcome to all the students, and thank you, Randir, for inspiring the students. And I must say, it's an honor to be able to teach you all. We are here in academia because we feel that in the way that we teach and in teaching itself, we have the ability to make a difference. And that's why we are here. I did see a few questions coming up about some communication with each other. We've got a Teams channel, which I've loaded on the in the chat where you guys can join. If you are struggling to join, please let me know, and we can work from there. Maria, your hand is up, I see.
Yes. Can we have the code and the password for the Teams channel so that we can join? I've been trying to join from the link and I have not been able to get any joy.
There won't be a code. You would have to just first upgrade. I will just speak to our team to just enable that, and then to make sure that you guys are upgraded.
Thank you.
And then I'm just going to give everybody 2 minutes to just stretch your legs a little bit, and then take a body break. So we will be back in 10 minutes time at 10 o'clock. Maria, I have been told that if you are struggling and getting that, it's because you are logging, trying to access it while you are logged into either your work Teams or your own private teams. So just make sure that you either access Office 365 for UNISA through the online, through a different browser. And then also just make sure that your Microsoft 365 account has been upgraded. There's a link in the chat that will help you just go through the steps so that you can go in through the UNISA platform. Otherwise, it's going to keep on asking you for the code.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions for us in the meantime, you can. And while there is a break, you are welcome to just upload them here on the chat. We will try to sort them out throughout the course of the week if we don't have answers right away. I'm sure there's a lot of knowledgeable people in here that could also answer. So please feel free to send us messages in the chat. Please have a look at the Dr. Judah Kufa's poll. Good. I see there's a problem with the poll.
Okay. Okay, I will check on it. Thank you. May I ask that they try again on my side? It's working. If you can perhaps try on your side, Dr. Standard, the one that is shared up in the chat. Let me pin it for now.
Working on my side, perhaps I just want to make sure when you are going to the poll, just make sure that you don't click on the poll icon upstairs, but that you click here in the chat. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start like a bit early, just actually to show a video. So it's not it's a video that I find to be very inspirational and that students like. So it's fine if you are still coming back to your computer, it's also fine. Um, it's a video to show you that your expectations might be very low at the moment. You might feel a bit overwhelming, but anything is possible. And it's only when it's done and you reflect backwards, like Randir did, that you would realize that anything is indeed possible. Okay. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Again.
And the sound as well, Dr. Standard.
Oh, how do I do that, Kida? Why is it not sharing? My sound is on.
Yes. Is the sound on the video as well?
Yes, it's on. I'm hearing it.
No, we cannot
You must
hear.
include the sound when you share. When you click your share button, also include where it says include the sound.
Okay, thank you. Let's try again. Share. Oh, I've got it. Haha, thank you. You see, teamwork. Let's try again.
And heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today. Now I stand here before you. What you see, it's a body crafted to perfection. A pair of legs engineered to defy the laws of physics. And a mindset to master the most epic of splits.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows
So with that, I would like to hand over to Dr. Kolisang, that is going to help you guys and enable you guys a little bit more to have the right mindset for this. Because like the advert for Volvo or Jean-Claude Van Damme says, with the right mindset, anything is possible.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning to the UNISA community and colleagues. My name is Chipiwa Kotisang. I'm from the Directorate for Counseling and Career Development. I am with my colleague Lisa Deisel, who will be co-presenting with me this morning. We will be with you guys. We will be together for the whole week, starting from today. Our Directorate for Counseling and Career Development, in our vision, we normally mention that we focus on preparing students pre, post, and during their academic journey. And we normally look at a student in a holistic, as a person, we focus on the career, academic, and personal. In our series of presentations, you will see we started with the career wellness. We will be focusing maybe later in the week also on emotional and mental wellness, because we are trying to address you as a holistic person. I'm also grateful that the College of Economic and Management Sciences have arranged this, especially for honor students, because a lot of emphasis is on undergrad students and doctoral students. And the honors students is like a middle child who have to fend for themselves. I've been a UNISA student myself. All my qualifications are from UNISA. So maybe I qualify as an alumni for UNISA. And I also understand the challenges and neglect that honors and postgrad students experience. You are just expected to perform because it's assumed you know everything. But it's actually a most difficult time being in the honors, because you are also trying to find out who you are going to be in preparation of the master's and doctoral. But there is assumption that you can just do these things on your own. So it is for that reason that we thought we are thinking about you on your career journey and some of the things that we thought they could be appropriate and relevant. So this morning we're going to start with career wellness for honor students. And what does that mean? Lisa? So in this presentation, which will be rushed through, we've got half an hour. We will start with some career misconceptions and career development at the postgraduate level, career goals, building networks, building skills, and at the end, we talk about self-confidence in preparation also of the presentations that will be done later during the week. You can post questions. Lisa will be there answering your questions while I'm presenting. We started by normalizing some of the things you might experience, especially in your honors or in your postgrad studies. It's very important to understand that it's normal to start feeling disconnected to your future career goals. Most of us, when we start degrees, we are energetic, we see the future, but possibly based on your experience of the undergraduate qualification and also starting now your honors, you can feel quite disconnected. I already saw somebody saying, I felt scared because I'm starting with distance learning. But to some of us, you might even feel scared. Is this what I was hoping for? Will the future still present the way I thought it? You could also be worried about the possibility of not completing your honors degree due to the demands of the honors. You could also feel very stuck, that maybe you made the wrong decisions if you have no way out. You have completed a degree and you now feel very forced to do the honors, but do you still feel connected? Do you still have the hopes? Do you still feel that this is what I want to do? Those are some of the challenges that honor students and postgrad students experience. You might also have lost confidence in yourself and you think you are not suitable person for the career. Maybe because for now you were hoping you should be on a different level on your career once you have completed your degree, and the degree might not have yielded those results, maybe because you are unemployed, or you have not got the promotion at work, or you are still not even in the same field that you are studying for, and that could make you lose confidence in yourself and even in what you are doing. The future seems uncertain at different levels. I've just shared some of those things where you might be unemployed. You might be employed, but you are not employed on the career that you have studied for. Or you might be feeling, but I should be different. I'm still working as an admin officer, yet I've got a degree in economics, or I've got a degree in human resource. I was hoping I could be a human resource practitioner by now, and that could make you feel quite discouraged and feeling uncertain. It could be that the reality is different from what you have heard or envisioned. Like I said, you might have thought when I complete this degree in industrial psychology, I would start working as an HR practitioner or a psychometrist, and you realized you must still do the honors. Maybe you must also do internship, and this is completely different to what you thought initially. And you might be doing an honors in a different subjects or field altogether than what you had initially planned or what you had hoped for. And all that is normal at this stage of your career. We can quickly talk about the common career misconceptions. I normally even say that our ways of viewing the career is quite linear. It's like if I take a bus now to Limpopo, I expect my next offload to be in Limpopo, but the career is different. You can actually take a bus to Durban and end up in Limpopo. The common career misconception is once and done. The belief that you make a single career choice and you stick with it for life. If you train as a teacher, you must work as a teacher. But it's completely different nowadays. That's why you will see people who have done BCom, nowadays they are teachers, or somebody who have done BCom is doing something completely different. Many people change careers multiple times during their lives, and there is nothing wrong with that, because making a career choice, it's a journey. You can change all the time, because sometimes who we are and who we want to be, it's also determined as we are studying. So in making what most people would think you have made a wrong choice, you could be making a career decision or helping you to make a career decision. Somebody's mic is on, please switch it off. Only one right path. The misconception that there is only one right career path for each person. In truth, there are often multiple paths to success, and it's essential to find the one that suits you, your skills, your interest, and goals, and that it could be determined because you have started somewhere else. Another misconception is high income equals job satisfaction. And these are the issues that honor students confront more, some of this misconception. And while you are doing your undergraduate degree, these things won't appear. They are not part of the things you will be looking at, because you are completing your degree. You are looking at being a graduate. But when you get to the honors, that's when you are confronted with some of this misconception. High income equals job satisfaction. The assumption that a high paying job will automatically lead you to job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is influenced by various factors beyond just a salary, including work-life balance, job contentment, and company culture. Prestige equals happiness. The idea that a prestigious or socially esteemed job will bring happiness and fulfillment. Happiness often depends on alignment with personal values and interest rather than social perception. What makes your life meaningful? It's not about you have got this highly prestigious job. It could be still not being meaningful for you, and we need to consider that. Quick success. I mean, we live in a society, in communities where we are highly impulsive and we are always looking at immediate gratification. And that has got a huge impact in our career and career satisfaction. It also have an impact on individuals when they look at where they are compared to their peers, compared to their relative, because maybe you are not succeeding as others are. And it's because of this quick success. They believe that career success happens overnight. Most successful careers require time, effort, and continuous development, and especially if you want to succeed with integrity. One of the things that is very important, which is a challenge for our department, is how do we produce graduates as UNISA who are graduates with integrity? And you would understand integrity is one of the big issue because we struggle with plagiarism and all those things. That also impact on us. And remember, it's not that you are just plagiarizing this assignment so that you can get 80. You can then plagiarize a report. You can then plagiarize a tender. What does it mean? Because you want to succeed quickly. And that impacts on our society, it impacts on our community, because we have got all these graduates who are looking at themselves, and we have got graduates who do not have integrity. And I think as UNISA, especially this college, which is the business college, which the issues are in business as well, as much as they are in social careers. It's how do we look at our career journey in a way that it's not about quick success, it's about integrity, it's about fulfillment, it's about who I want to be that is meaningful for me. As we continue, there is also this idea that there is limited opportunities, the notion that there are only a few viable career options. The job market is diverse with a wide range of possibilities, and it's essential to explore and research to find the best fit. Another misconception is that degrees guarantee jobs. The assumption that earning a degree guarantees a job in a chosen field. While education is valuable, securing a job often requires additional factors such as networking and practical experience, that developing yourself as a graduate. Another misconception is that no need for continuous learning. In the 21st century, we must understand that the belief that once you are established in a career, you no longer need to learn or develop new skills. Continuous learning is crucial for career longevity and today's rapidly changing job market. Things are changing every day. When I used to study at UNISA some years ago, you would go and register, you get your study material, and that's it. You would then go and then write your exams. Nowadays, we find that we are sitting today in an interactive seminar online. Previously, UNISA would invite all of us to a center closest to us, and all the lecture will have to travel. Things have changed so much even in how education is being offered and our interaction with our lectures. We never knew about My Life, My UNISA, and it's through continuous learning that we have now have My Life and My UNISA. So we must constantly remain relevant, and that is only established through learning. Let's now start here. I was still giving an introduction to this presentation, and you think we are halfway through the presentation. It's very important where we are to think about this quote. Don't ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, but what problems they want to solve. This changes the conversation from who do I want to work for to what do I need to learn to be able to do that. This is a quote from James Cassup, Google Global Educational Evangelist. It's very important as you are doing your honors now to think about preparing for opportunities and planning your career. But in doing that, the question you need to ask yourself is what type of problems you want to be able to solve. That already opens you to possibilities instead of thinking about just who you want to be, because in that there is a lot of limitation. There is limitation for you and limitation for you to utilize the skills and the knowledge that you have learned so far. When you start looking at yourself in relation to the contribution you want to make, it also gives you so much control. It helps you to focus on your contribution and not necessarily on whom you want to become. When we look at whom you want to become, it's normally determined by others. People must employ me and give me this position. But when you think about the contribution you want to make, you actually have control on how you want to do it, and you can plan and you can also explore those opportunities, looking at the type of problems you want to solve. Last week, we were busy with a group of other honor students or other students in another field, and we thought about this career reflection activity. I would want you to note it down. And maybe at the end, if we've got time, we can come back to this and we just share some of your thinking, where you are and who you want to be. Please write down the questions there. These are the problem I wish to solve. This could be my contribution. It could be in your community, in your current work environment, or also where you are, even as a graduate. Lisa? The activity even continues further. But in here, we also indicated skills needed by the employers: complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, collaboration, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, cognitive flexibility. If you think about some of the skills that we have mentioned, if you go and look at some of the policies where UNISA talks about graduate attributes and the type of graduates UNISA want to produce to the society and to the world, some of these issues are mentioned. So it's also very important to think about, how do I make contribution in such a way that I develop some of these skills? Also asking yourself, how do I grow? How do I prepare myself to grow some of these skills and the attitude you need in order to grow some of the skills? Who do you need also to support you? As we continue with our reflection, here are some of the questions that I thought you could just note down because they help you when you are thinking about your career. What did you hope for when you started with your career journey? Where are you now? How do you connect where you are now and your future career vision? What type of opportunities are you preparing for? What can you do with the qualifications you have? How do you start preparing to be the future you? I must encourage you to think about this because they are very important as you think about your career and managing your career journey, as you are thinking about where you are, because these questions will help you in two ways. You either think about yourself in a very dejected or demotivated way or being stuck, or you also look at yourself with some little bit of pessimism and hope, depending on whether you are reflecting only on the ideas you had about yourself and the vision that has been lost along the way because you are not there. As we continue with career wellness, These are some of the ingredients that we need to think about when we are thinking about your career. I normally like it when people who are bakers, when they are thinking about baking a cake, they already think about a flavor. And part of the ingredients will be the flavor. If you are thinking about a banana cake, bananas should be there. So you can't think about the cake and you cannot think about the flavor. Even when we are thinking about the career, we can never think about our career only looking at it about I will be making so much money and the next thing I will be successful and the next thing I will be respected. There are a number of aspects we need to consider. You need to think about your short-term and long-term goals. You also need to think about the exploring career options. It's part of those ingredients when we are thinking about our career. If you think about your career and your career journey, and there is no short and long-term goals, your cake is not going to be well baked. If you can't think about options as well, we have got a problem. But in thinking about all that, you also need to think about how you develop your professional network. I like the African idiom or the metaphor where they said it takes a village to raise a child. That is the same principle with you also developing in your career. You need other professionals, you need a network. Maybe you need a community, you need other people to hold you and to direct you. Sometimes you just need a person to listen to you. It's very important. It's another part of the ingredients. You also need to think about developing key skills, but also you need to think about job search. You can see these ingredients are secular. They influence each other. They are not looked at in a linear way. Time and again, we are caught in this circle where we are thinking about our career in this secular format. Let's quickly talk about what are we talking about when we are talking about identifying short goals, so short-term goals. Short-term goals typically cover the next 1 to 3 years of your career. You might be in the job market already. You might not be working, but what are the achievable specific goals that you need to look at that are directly related to your immediate career needs? You need to think about whether you need to focus on skills development, networking, or building a foundation for your long-term goals. It might mean you are starting somewhere where it's not even related, but to you, it makes sense and it's related. And as long as it makes sense to you, then you need to start there. Your short-term goal might be to complete an honors degree, gain a specific amount of work experience, or secure an internship in your desired field. Or in a particular field, also maybe thinking, I need money in order to even complete my honors. So for now, I will do any type of job so that I'm financially stable. You need to seek feedback and guidance. Share your goals with mentors, career counselors, or trusted colleagues, or other people that we trust to get feedback and guidance. The reason people get very stuck and demotivated is because they've got their own reality in their heads that they do not even test it with the reality by just talking to somebody who can ask you questions and you can reflect a bit more. They can provide you valuable insights and help you refine your goals. Career goals are not set in stone. As your circumstances change and you gain new experiences, you need to be open to revisiting and adapting your goals. Lisa? When we look at the long-term goals, we are looking at 5, 10 years or more, and often involve broader career aspirations. Think about where you want to be in career at a more advanced stage. Do you see yourself in a leadership role, running your own business or pursuing a specific specialization? And you prepare for that, not in an impulsive or immediate gratification to say, maybe I need to pay so and so a bribe so that I can get a tender and then I will be a millionaire. Long-term goals should align with your values and provide a sense of purpose. They need to be meaningful to you. Remember, as you define your short and long-term career goals, make your goals SMART. We are talking about the principle. They need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Lisa? Let's talk about explore career options. We need to think about the resources we need to use in order to explore career options, depending on where you are. Think about career information websites. Think about job website. Think about LinkedIn. Think about volunteering. One day I got a call from somebody who said, I just looked at your LinkedIn profile. I'm horrified that you don't have ambitions about your life. I said, why? This person told me you have been doing a lot of things that I know about, but they are not there in your LinkedIn profile. Therefore, some people cannot connect with you, or they cannot actually look at you as a potential, whether as a business partner or as somebody they can employ. So even if you are employed, think about your LinkedIn profile. That is something, just updating your profile. You are marketing yourself. You don't need to watch the job adverts or the newspaper every day. Think about professional associations. How are you making sure you are registered with professional associations, organizations related to your career, so that you are connected to other people? Informational interviews. I think one of the most painful things for me is that we live in a society where people are so secretive. We are so paranoid, but to the extent that we can't even ask people about the information that is beneficial. A colleague of mine once said to me, people won't ask you information because their pride does not allow them to be vulnerable or to seem like they don't know. And I said to them, for me, I always look at information interviews as this example. I once found myself lost in this small town. And as I was lost and I was walking around, I see in most of these shops and offices, they've got a big board that say, do not ask for direction and akuna msebenzi. So there is no job and you must also not ask for direction. And being a compliant citizen, I walked and I could see I'm lost because I didn't want to ask because the board is written, don't ask for direction. After some times I said, yo, what am I doing to myself? What do I need? I just need somebody to give me direction for what I'm looking for. I was just looking for an Avis place where I could rent a car. And I got into one of this shop and I said, I sincerely apologize for disturbing you. Can you please give me direction to the Avis depot? And this gentleman assisted me, never shredded me. And I walked out of there and said, what have you learned? I then thought, rather focus on what you need. They might have judged me. That does it mean this person can't read and write? But that was not an issue. The issue is that I'm lost. Whether I can read and write, it's immaterial. So information interviews, talking to people who are there, who are experts. UNISA students are privileged. Most of the lecturers are experts in the same field where you are studying, but people will never bother to just send an email to say, Dr. Stander, I can see in your profile you have got interest in this and this. This is something I'm interested in. Can we have a half an hour interview where I can ask you some questions? That's what we are talking about when we are talking about information interview. Think about in a church, in your community, how many people do you know that are in different organizations that you can just ask information. Don't decide that they don't know what you are studying, rather ask them. But also keep track of what you are asking or what you are doing and reflect on what you find and what you need to do. I'm aware of time. We're going to quickly wrap up. It's important that you also build a strong professional network. When I was talking about information interview, I'm just also touching on who do you network with and building a beneficial relationships that can also contribute to your career growth. Lisa? And it's important that you provide value, you are consistent, and you are authentic and grateful. When somebody provides you with the information, it's important to just go back and say, I want to give you feedback. This is where I am. This is what I found. I will connect with you. Please think about me. You must not always be a receiver. You must not be passive. This is your process. This is your journey. And you must be an active participant in order to manage your career as well. As we continue, we talked about online network, information interviews, association, attend events. Events such as this are also very important because they help you in growing your career as well and managing your career. It's also important to develop key skills. It's one of the ingredients. You need to reflect and understand, what skills do you want to develop? You need to create a learning plan and seek learning resources. Some of the skills we can learn online. Maybe we need to learn on writing, presentation skills. How do we create milestone so that we achieve that? Practice regularly, join professional communities, and collaborate and get feedback, but stay informed. Take some time to go on blogs, on podcasts. I interact with people and they will tell me how much they spent time on Facebook. I don't know what else. I'm not somebody on this online platforms, and they're just following somebody's story, but that is not even related to their career. Whereas there could be podcasts, there could be links or blogs that can really impact on you and your career journey, like what Dr. Stander just showed us now. Also, it's important, remember we spoke about what type of problems you want to solve. Apply skills in real life scenarios, volunteer and extend yourself, go beyond what is expected of you so that you can develop yourself. There must always be return on an investment. When you do something, you always get something back. Lisa? When we talk about job search, which is very important and critical time of your life, you need to think about research and target your search. Also optimize your CV and cover letters, and also create online presence. As I said earlier on, one of a friend, a colleague, came back to me to say, I'm demotivated, I'm discouraged. Your LinkedIn profile is not pleasing. You are not marketing yourself. You are doing all these things, but it's only people closer to you who knows about it. You need to think about your career journey and where you want to be. The network as well, it's very important. Explore multiple search channels. Don't rely on newspapers or the magazine for the government. Think about company website, networking events. Think about people you know, but also prepare for interviews. Having a degree, having worked does not guarantee you that you will perform well. Also prepare yourself for interviews. As you are thinking about the future, it is important to take some time to think about what you need to progress in your career. If you are considering further study, what type of qualification will be most appropriate for you? Do you need a master's degree? Do you need a project management qualification? Do you need an Excel program, 6 months? What other things can you do now to prepare for that future? Lisa. We now come to this important part, getting support. Think about who do you need? How can the counselor help you in supporting you in your career journey? Can you just have a conversation with somebody? And here are our contact details. You will be getting these contact details throughout the week. You can send us an email. You can book an online appointment on MS Teams. You can also visit any of the regional offices where it's still open and there could be a counselor who help you. Furthermore, there is our website which have got all these resources. We could talk about doing career research. There is a resource on that, your CV. There is a research on the a resource on that. There is also a YouTube channel that you can log on, you can follow us. That's the end of our presentation for today. We will continue again tomorrow. I apologize that I took 7 minutes of your time. I appreciate your understanding in this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you so much for joining us and coming through and speaking to the students. It's important that you guys not only work for now, especially students that who are still thinking on how this honors is going to change your life, and while you're pondering on this, like she said, think about the problem that you want to solve. You're going to hear that a lot, especially in my class. We're going to work a lot around solving of problems and making contributions, especially to Agenda 2063 and the SDGs. And understanding the problem you want to solve is a big starting point for anything around human-centered design thinking. The student earlier that want to start your own business, know what is the problem that you want to solve, know what is the problem and if there is a problem. I'm going to give over 5 minutes to, or 10 minutes at the most, Dr. Kuda. If you are here to just share your poll outcomes with the students so we can see where you are from, and then we'll give over to the next speaker. You are muted, Doc.
Yes, I was talking to myself. So I was trying to have the poll project, but I was having difficulties. So I ended up coming here. Most of our students are in Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal. We have some in the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga. We have the Western Cape, and we have the one in the United States. Next time I'm going to work on my questions here so that we can cater for those who are not within our borders. And very interesting here, using, why are you doing your honors? Growth. Oh, something has gone wrong. Okay, there we go. Right, we have growth, knowledge, new skill sets, self-development, I don't know what good day is about. Yes, continuous learning. So I can see that, Dr. Stander, we have students who have that inner drive, that extra motivation that pushes them to the finishing line. What are your expectations? Work, master's research, skills, growth again, knowledge, future of my work. And then when it comes to the personalities, we have organizers here. And then the driver, and then we have the visionary, and we have the diplomat. So I don't think there are going to be any problems in the teams, especially when we have quite a number of organizers representing within the teams. So yes, I just wanted to share that feedback. I'm going to stop now the live polls. I don't know. But yes, so that's who you're working with and why they're here, students. why your colleagues are here, why your fellow students are here. And for the lecturers, this is where our students are coming from and why they are here. Thank you, Dr. Stander.
Thank you, Dr. Junakufa. Yes, it's always good to see this and to understand, guys, that we are all here for different reasons. And while we are all on the same ocean, we might not be all using the same boat to navigate this or have the same destination that we are trying to get to. So remember that when you come to your teamwork and your group work, while you all need to navigate the same storm, some of you are more technologically savvy. Some of you, like myself, do need some help and get some WhatsApp communication on how to fix things that you do wrong. But you know what? We as teams, and that's why I love working with the team that I have. You need to be able to say, listen, I'm very good at something. Well, Dr. Kuda is very good with something else. And if I need to ask her for help, it doesn't make me a bad person or a lesser person, right? It actually, the ability to ask for help and the ability to reach out makes you a better person because you can learn from yourself and from other people. So don't be afraid to ask for help. We are, as lecturers, we are here, as support departments, they are here. I must again thank you, all the support departments that are here today. You know, when you send out emails and arrange these things, you always think, oh, are you going to get somebody to help? And they all put up their hands. So I just again want to say thank you very much. I need to just see, guys, do you have any questions at this point? Please raise your hands and let's have a bit of a discussion for a few minutes. There we go, Portia. Was that a mistake? Yes,
Can you hear me, Doc?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I must say that the previous presentation was very informative. I took a lot from that presentation. I just felt that it was running too quick for me to grasp everything, but I managed to capture the slides. I must say that it was well explained in terms of the different levels, and I am sure that I will basically take what was said and use it in my private space, in my professional space. I liked the part where it was said that we need to ensure that we belong to a professional body. We ensure that we are on the LinkedIn, we update our profiles, which is something that I have been neglecting myself, and I think I had missed opportunities of growth in that regard. But thank you very much to the previous presenter.
Yes. Korisang, perhaps you've got some wise words for the students on that.
Please email us. I sincerely apologize, but I was very cognizant that we were allocated 30 minutes if I didn't miss something. And I know because the program is quite fully packed, I do not want to not have boundaries, to my colleagues as well and to students. Then you just go on and on. That's why at the end I was rushing through. But I also know that tomorrow we are going to do, sorry, now I'm telling you all other things, but after this meeting, we will be doing a similar recording for the honor students, which for the College of Human Sciences, you could benefit from that recording as well. It will have more information. So if you can please email me or email Lisa we can also share with that presentation, or we share with Dr. Stander. She can also share it with all the honor students, because the two presentations go very well together. But it was just in the best interest of time and respecting that your program is quite fully packed. That's why I rushed. I kept on checking on my time. But also the recording will be available and the presentation will be available. And remember that this is like an introduction, that we are actually sending an invitation to say we are here so that we can have further conversation. We are not saying to you, we are presenting today, don't come to us. This is just an invitation. We are teasing you to say we are here. We have got all these resources. We have got all this information. Please come, let's have conversation. The idea that when we talk to counselors is because we've got problems, it's very self-limiting. I always say, come and talk to us, because you are just saying, I just want somebody to listen to me when I'm talking about my career. You might not say anything at the end, but this is where I am. This is what I'm wondering about. And I'm really encouraged that we can have more conversation. We are here for you. You are our main stakeholders. Thank you so much. And I sincerely apologize for rushing through.
No worries, no worries. Thank you so much again for coming. Guys, we will make all the recordings available. So you guys don't need to stress if you miss something, it's also fine. We will I'm just gonna edit it nicely and do some things. Not that I'm the best at editing it, but we will get there and we'll upload it all for you on a nice folder. Make sure that you try and get into that Teams a link that I shared through to you. That will it's easier to upload big files onto Teams than it is on my UNISA. There is some bandwidth restrictions. So if you would go there. Can I see Vivian, are you here yet? Richard?
Yes, I am. I've just
You've
joined.
just joined. Are you ready for the students?
I can. Yes, I can kick off. Not a problem. Are you
Okay.
running a bit early?
We are running a bit early today, so for once we are going quicker.
Awesome.
Thank you, Vivian, so much for coming.
It's a pleasure. Richard, is it okay if I kick off? Great. Let me quickly, and I know you're probably going to hear this a million times. I'm unable to share my screen.
I am going to upgrade you quickly.
Thank you.
That's coming back.
There we go. Thank you very much. Great. So good day, everybody. My name is Vivian Ladner. I am from a company called Scatco. We are a group of companies working predominantly in the education space. We are also a Microsoft Education Global Training Partner when it comes to the Microsoft Education tools being used at institutions like yourselves, at UNISA, and so forth as well. I am the group sales lead, and I have quite an extensive history in the education space. I've been working with K-12 schools, TVET colleges, and universities probably for the last 25 years. Predominantly handling Microsoft licensing, doing smart interactive board training, delivering Microsoft training on the different licensing and so forth. And if we think about how all of these things tie back in. I mean, you know, there are many other vendors that are talking about AI as well, but we know, and we work very closely with UNISA and with the ADOVH department around the innovations they are spearheading around AI and so forth as well. So thank you very much for your time. For me today, I think the conversation is going to be based around AI, using it ethically and responsibly. Now, there's a lot of conversation happening around it all over the world. Microsoft, AWS, Google, OpenAI, and a lot of other international companies are spearheading a lot of legislation around it. And if you follow any of those entities and how they are spearheading the responsible use of AI, it's actually interesting to see, and everybody's just going, you know, trying to achieve a common goal to be able to use it in a way that doesn't harm. And that can be interpreted in very, very different ways. But there are some principles and guidelines that we need to consider when looking into AI to use it ethically and responsibly. Understanding bias and fairness. AI systems can most definitely be inherently biased and in their training of their data. It is crucial for us to recognize and address the bias to ensure complete fairness. We encourage you to evaluate the data sources that you use. So don't just go and buy a data source somewhere on the internet. Make sure that it is the data has been collected in the right way. Identify potential biases and work actively to mitigate them. Then transparency and explainability. You should understand how AI models make the decisions. Obviously, it's the human interaction. You're inputting a request and you're looking for information to come back out. You need to understand how that model that you are using comes up with those decisions. You should choose interpretable models so that you are able to explain the reasoning of the data that you are collecting. The importance of transparency in AI is also very crucial, especially when it impacts people's lives. I've got some examples that I can share around illustrating the importance of the transparency of the data. Looking at a medical diagnosis, in healthcare, AI algorithms are used all the time. Transparency ensures that the doctors and patients understand why a specific diagnosis has been made. Imagine an AI system analyzing medical images such as X-rays or MRIs. The transparency allows the clinicians to verify the accuracy of the diagnosis and make informed decisions about the patient care. And we know and we understand from experience that if the doctor does not have all the information about the patient, they can't make an informed diagnosis or input information into a database to extrapolate data to help them with that. Another one is as easy as something as credit scoring and loan approvals. Financial institutions, as we know today, are under huge amounts of stress when it comes to making sure that people can be approved for loans and whether they are able to pay it back at the end of the day. They also need to be able to give the applicant a reason why their credit or their application was denied. And this also enables regulators and auditors to verify compliance with any anti-discrimination laws. So One of the other examples that I can share is autonomous vehicles. Now, I had I had an experience driving in one in London, and I was like, oh my goodness, every time we went around the corner or we were changing lanes or something. But again, it's all the data that's being inputted. It's the vehicle driving on that route so many times that it's picked up and collected all the data that it needs to make sure that you get from point A to point B in a safe manner. And it then also allows the makers of the vehicles to then hopefully share data or able to make sure that they can improve their systems at the end of the day. And each one of these scenarios, again, fosters accountability, transparency. It empowers the end users, and it makes sure that ethical AI is being deployed. Then we look at privacy and data protection. Now, we know that this is something we all strive to keep. I know UNISA does a lot around this as well. There's been a massive breach with CIPRA in South Africa just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where a lot of company data was hacked and leaked. So one of those things is, with regards to the protection of data, is where does your database sit? Where does your all your data that you are using? We need to protect this as much as what we can, and you should handle personal data responsibly and comply with the privacy regulations the privacy regulations. In South Africa, we've got Papaya, and there's a lot of information that is available. We know SARS and all of the financial institutions use it as soon as there is a person's name, identification, email address, ID number, telephone number, address. This should be protected in an institution. Obviously, internationally, you look at GDPR regulations, and one of the things that I do know for a fact, and I know this because I worked for Microsoft for a couple of years, and the GDPR compliance, when it came to us hosting an event, was so strict that we weren't allowed to see the person's email address. We would know that who the person is that was attending an event, but we weren't allowed to see the email address. So with that comes the opportunity to encourage anonymization and data minimization techniques. We know that on mobile devices, you can hide your email address, or you can hide information and then make it visible in a strange and obscure format. Then we're looking at avoiding harm and unintended consequences. You should consider the impact of AI solutions on individuals and society. And I think one of the biggest examples, literally 2 weeks ago, was the deep fake social media posts about Taylor Swift. And that again is an AI language model that just completely construed what was going on. So we need to reinforce that the learning algorithms are optimizing for non-harmful behavior. Then in education and awareness, and this is just something I personally believe, is that from primary school right through until higher education, right through until the workplace, everyone should be taught about AI ethics, biases, and responsible AI practices. We work with many schools that are starting to write into their ICT policies AI practices for that school. We work with a school group where they have decided 100% the students are able to use ChatGPT, but they've already written it into their new school contract as well. So the parents understand and the students understand how they can use it correctly. For that to be incorporated into the K-12 curriculum or into the higher education curriculum, it has to start with curriculum changes in those institutions. The Department of Basic Education, the Department of Higher Education need to have a look and revise the intended curriculum for all the courses, because it doesn't matter what you're studying for, AI is some way is going to be touching it. Then we look at collaboration and accountability. And AI development is a collaborative effort. There's many people inputting data, and data then gets taken back out again by the human interaction requesting information. You are able and should work together, seek feedback, and hold each other accountable. You should foster a culture of responsible and continuous improvements. Remember, ethical AI is an ongoing journey. By instilling these principles, you as students, end users, can contribute to a more responsible and equitable AI future. Now, I did mention that we were talking about interpretable models, and machine learning models are designed to be transparent, and that needs to be understood by humans. And there's quite a lot of information that can be shared. And I'm just going to share a couple of URLs, and I will share this presentation that you have access to the URLs, and I'll just take you through them and explain what they are about as well. So empowering responsible AI practices. And again, like I mentioned, these are URLs. You are able to click on them and it will open for you. So Microsoft has an entire site dedicated to Microsoft AI. And you can get a playbook if this is something that you would be interested in. And also, they are making a lot of things available to people for research as well. All right. Sorry, just go back. I just needed to stop sharing. I will reshare now again. My internet just hung on my side. Sorry about that. Okay. And before I get to the Minecraft component of it, which is games-based learning for students, Microsoft also launched what they call the AI Business School. Again, this is something that you can click on and go into Microsoft Learn. The Microsoft Learn site, if you have not gone into it before, is where all Microsoft's technical courses sit for their different products. They have different career paths. They have an AI engineer. They've obviously got for the data analysts, data scientists, and most of these have some form of AI associated to it as well. If there are any educators on this call, there's an educator center. Here's a student hub. So if most of you are students, you can go and click on the student hub. You gain access to all of these courses at no cost. You're able to look at certifications on the different Microsoft AI tools. You are also able to write an exam and get an international certification. The exam, however, does cost. There is a cost associated to it. So we just need to work with UNISA or work with your faculty to see how we can potentially access those exam vouchers for you as a student. And again, in all the different segments, healthcare, finance, sustainability, retail, manufacturing, and the list is quite extensive. Let me just go. Okay. Then the training for an AI engineer is obviously one of those courses. And like I mentioned earlier, I worked for Microsoft for 5 years. And during that time, I started as a teacher trainer. So I would go to schools and do training. And I was there when Microsoft Teams launched some 6 years ago now. And that was a big transition because that was literally bringing in a lot of things into one central place to be able to used by the teachers, the students, and now even parents are able to access. And Teams was one of those AI tools that came in and then quite subtly started bringing in a lot of the other AI tools. You would have heard a lot in the news about Microsoft's Copilot, an amazing tool. And yes, you already do have access to it. Inside your Edge browser, you have Bing Chat in the top right-hand corner, or Bing Copilot in the top right-hand corner. And with that, you are able to access some Copilot tools. That doesn't cost you anything. ChatGPT, on the other hand, that you have to pay for a subscription once you've used your credits. But Bing Copilot has ChatGPT 4 built into it already. So you have a basic edition that you are able to access. Then right in the beginning of 2020, we were, as Microsoft, we were going to host face-to-face collaboration with several universities, getting candidate students it was staff members at the time, to become those AI certified trainers that they could offer it in their institutions. Then the 27th of March happened, and our face-to-face training very quickly had to change into an online thing. So into online workshops. We then decided we're going to compact things a little bit. Instead of doing a full 1-year course, we brought it down to 6 months. And we knew that everybody was trying to get online and all the other good things. So when we worked with the first cohort of candidates, which were about 20 candidates, we were quite lucky at that point. The Free State provincial government decided they would give us 20 candidates. So we had candidates from Central University of Technology. We had candidates from the Free State Social Services, from the e-government, from the Treasury, and a couple of other candidates. We even had a CTU faculty member that was on maternity leave, and she decided that she would actually participate in the course during her maternity leave as well. And the last URL over here, bringing the power of artificial intelligence. It's a news article you can go and read on how the course was delivered and what the intended outcome was. After the first 6 months, we obviously found that some of the candidates were struggling because they were now given all their online responsibilities from their different institutions. So we did extend it a little bit. But by the end of 2022, we had trained 120 train the trainers effectively. And it was quite an amazing experience just to see how this has been embraced in their institutions. So Central University of Technology, Walter Sisulu, I'm just trying to think oh, I can't think of all the names now, but one of the private universities that is also offering this as a short learning course is Edubus. Sorry, UJ was the other one, the other university. They have all brought this on as short learning courses into their institutions. Now I know UNISA is when I went to go and have a look, there is a short learning course on AI as well. So, you know, that's what I wanted to share with you today. We need to think about this on a daily basis. This weekend, I was trying to explain to my 8-year-old nephew about using AI responsibly, and I was actually letting him play this Microsoft AI for Good hour of code in Minecraft. And this, you can actually, when you go and click on it, it's just something simple that takes you through a couple of instructions. I'm going to see if I can open it. So yes, you can go and play a game, and the game is going to be teaching you about AI for good, right? And it is for all ages. And you can go through. You don't necessarily need Minecraft on your device. If you click on it, it will take you to a trial, and you're able to then just go and work your way through it. There's some teacher's notes, guidelines, student activities, and so forth. I highly recommend, if any of you do have children, working with children, nieces, nephews, this is where it needs to start, at that primary school level, so that by the time they get into university, at TVET college, the workplace, they are then able to understand how things need to be and how it needs to change. Responsible and ethical AI, I think it's something that the entire world struggles with constantly. I don't know if any of you are watching Planet Earth 3 with David Attenborough that is narrating. Now, a lot of that stuff has been put into Minecraft as well, and asking the students or the children how they would solve those issues. The one episode was about all the palm oil trees, how they would then solve the issue of the palm oil trees plantations that are taking over and pushing animals out of their habitats. And some amazing concepts have come up from the students. And this is something, as a game as simple as Minecraft is teaching young students to be responsible and ethical AI users. And I hope this is something that you are talking about in your social groups, and if you are doing things around it in your homes and so forth, then I'm happy to chat with you separately on this. And yeah, I think that's it from my side. Thank you very much. I know Richard was doing some polls. Richard?
Hi, Vivian, Richard's not yet. David is
Oh.
in. Yes. David, have we got full answers on the polls yet? Not yet.
Hi, yes, I'm busy adding them right now.
Okay.
Oh, great. Any questions that you guys have for Vivian? Everybody's afraid of AI, Vivian.
No, please. And we're all using it on a daily basis on our mobile phones. Samsung's new AI feature, I don't know, I have an iPhone personally, but I was watching a friend last week where they actually just hold on an image and it goes in and search for that image on the net. That I think is pretty cool. I see Minnie is asking, where do you find login details for Minecraft? You can
Yeah,
spin
I didn't
up,
see that.
you can spin up a Minecraft trial, Minecraft education. All right, so that's specific. Sorry, I'm just going to put it in the chat. Minecraft education. And let me just see if I can catch the link for you quickly. Minecraft education.
David, maybe you would be able to help the students. Do they log in if they want to do into Minecraft education using their My Life credentials?
So I can actually answer that. Unfortunately,
Okay.
not at the moment. We were trying this last week. There is an issue that Minecraft is not available to the students right now, but that's why you can spin up a trial and you get 12 accesses to it during the trial, or it's for 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then they just use a normal email address. So they can use that one, but it's not part of the UNISA things. Okay. Okay, see, I saw the licenses. They've responded about, thank you so much about that. Okay, so we've got Minecraft education there. I muted myself by accident. Let's hear some questions about AI. We've got a lot of AI in the program this week because it's it's a issue in higher education. It's got a lot to do about the authenticity of work, I think. And one of the things that I don't mind students using it to, you know, even myself, I struggle sometimes with how do you write something, academic writing. It becomes very difficult to express yourself academically, but you still need to do your own thinking, I think, when we get there.
Most definitely. And I mean, if you are using tools like ChatGPT or Google AI or whatever it is that you are using, you've still got to make it sound like you. You know, and like I mentioned, you know, we've got a school here in Sunninghill, Centennial Schools. They're very well known for their esports. They have a massive esports arena. However, they are teaching using ChatGPT. They are teaching using cryptocurrency. So all of these different AI things that are involved in the everyday life that all the grown-ups are talking about, they've actually decided to incorporate that into their curriculum. So those students are going to be looking for institutions, higher education institutions that compare to where they've come from. So for me, these tools need to be incorporated. Your guide, your governance needs to be shared with all of your students on how to ethically and responsibly use it. Melanie, I see your hand is up. Was it Melanie?
Hi, yes, it's Melanie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Vivian. Yeah, I'm one of the honor students. I'm doing the research project as well as part of the curriculum. I think my question is around, do we see, or to what extent do we see AI taking over research, you know, doing the systematic reviews? Because I work with AWS, so with, you know, Gen AI is like we speak it every single day. I think there's quite a lot of risk, or, you know, with AI obviously taking over a lot. So like in the research space specifically, to what extent do you feel that AI would maybe take over?
Sure. And trust me that we get this question quite often actually. And you know, it's like AI, is it going to take over everything that we do? AI is a large language model. That large language model needs to be created by somebody or something. And at this point in time, the large language models that are being used by all the different AI tools comes from all the information we've put on the internet or we've put it out there into a public space. It doesn't matter, you know, which vendor you're talking about. It's still the human that has put the information out there. The human needs to interpret that data for their specific use. And that's one of the things that I said in the beginning, is you need to harness that data out there and make sure that it is what you need, and that it's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be harmful to anybody else.
But
I can add on, Melanie, I can just add on with the taking over of research. My dad is a retired professor, always said, you know, you can tell an AI to shave the head of a sheep and to shave its bum, and it will never know to shave the rest of the sheep in between because it doesn't know that it exists.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I'm thinking a little bit like longer down the line, you know, when you get generative AI, and I think we're eventually pushing for AI to start building its own foundation models and tweaking itself, where maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking a bit too far ahead and a bit too
so one of the things that I always say, you know, and I don't know how old everybody is on the call, but when I was growing up, the movie Alien was thought of. Somebody created that movie in their head first, and then they actually put it into a visualization of it. Who came up with that then? You know, that movie is what, 35 years old or something like that now? Then already it was in existence. We just didn't have, we didn't stick a proper name to it.
True. I think it's the same, like I always use the analogy of the, you know, the Terminator, the rise of the machine, finally living it.
Yeah, very much so. And if we look at the sci-fi movies where they're talking, I know everybody goes, yeah, what was it, Back to the Future, that spoke about 2022 or something. But now movies are talking about the year 310, you know, 3010. What is it looking like? Somebody's thinking of that. So, you know, the clever people, the people are knowing that they don't just want to swipe left or right anymore, kind of thing. They actually want to think. And there was an article in this week where I saw that somebody has developed a neuro link that you put onto the side of your temple, and you're able to then command just by using a thought process. I don't know quite how it works or whatever, but I saw that this 2 weeks ago as well as yeah. So Hayden,
thank you so much.
Pleasure. Don't be afraid.
Cheers.
Hayden, the problem that we live in the world, technology, information, being able to connect it to one another is key. People want an immediate response to things, very much so. It's like if you don't answer the WhatsApp or you don't answer the Teams message immediately, you know, the days when we still have to phone people or send them a letter, I think that's again the evolution of human interaction. AI coming to the fore in the best way at times.
We've got a earlier question as well, Vivian. It says, if AI is such a negative thing within the working world, then what is the purpose for AI if it is such an issue within the study field?
I think in the study field, a lot of institutions still don't understand how to incorporate it into what they are teaching and how they will allow students to use it. And I think, you know, a lot of institutions are making lots of good strides. And you're now getting new AI tools to check the AI tools that students are using. One of the things that most universities use is Turnitin. Turnitin is built in an AI tool now to check whether students have been using ChatGPT or Google or whoever it is. So they're building in those kind of requirements now because it is there.
Okay.
But
Thanks.
Yes.
Oh,
Fine.
somebody's mic is open.
Not a problem. So yes, it's the institutions need to understand or build their governance again around how they would want their students to use it. I don't believe, you know, at the moment in my life, AI is negative. I limit what I do and how I do and use AI. But you know, it's for every individual to decide. I've seen some very interesting things coming out of China, so by the way, on AI. And when I was in London, I don't know if anybody's ever gone to BET. It's the British Education, Technology and Train Expo. It's 4 days of just learning and exhibiting and so forth. And when I was there last year, March, there was a lot of robotics companies. And the one robotics company had a robot that works for the elderly and works with elderly that have dementia. For me, that is incredible because the robots would be programmed to speak to that individual that has dementia as if when they're having an episode where they're not remembering, they will speak to them as if it's okay. You don't need to remember right now. Where us as humans would always want the person to go, but hello, you're with us now. Do you remember me? And the robot is not doing that. So the level of empathy coming from the robot that has been programmed again by human is absolutely amazing. And Eunice's got Luazi, you know, Luazi's getting very clever. David and Richard are starting to do some very clever things with Luazi right now.
Yeah, and just to get, I don't think it's necessarily an issue in the world of study. I do think the biggest thing is that you guys, students, need to remember that it uses everything on the internet. It can't discern between necessarily junk or false information and academic sources. And then if you just present everything, if you never go and you never go learn what is the correct things behind it, you will never know if it's giving you the wrong answer to a question.
Yeah.
Right? So and if you let AI do all the work for you, then why are you paying all this money for it again?
Yeah. One of the things that I have, I was also reading up about it, is that there are companies, and it was specifically in the medical field, where they have decided they're going to create their own large language model. So they're going to create their own database that the AI tools can only use what sits in their large language model. So all of the information that the AI model is going to pull is going to be what has been found factual within their requirements. There we go, David. Thank you for posting Luazi. If you didn't know about Luazi, she's a little humanoid robot. And David and Richard have learned to type very fast because when the people interact with her and they say, hello, how are you? Luazi, can you? Luazi needs to be able to answer. So they are now busy working on, and I believe Richard was telling me, they're starting to work on a conversation model. So you would soon be able to have a bit of a conversation, again, pulling information from a database, a large language model that Luwazi can have a conversation about. But please have a look at that video. She's adorable. We like having her around. And yeah, if there's not any more questions, thank you for having me.
There's
Sorry,
another hand, Vivian.
Maria. Was it
Sorry.
Lola? Yeah.
Sorry, just one last question, because I think with the ability for okay, let me rephrase myself. One of the big issues around AI and Gen AI specifically, the ethical issues around the generation of fake information and disinformation that can potentially be out there, right? In our research, we will be looking at doing various levels of literature reviews, and our reviews would potentially be skewed based on what kind of data we actually look at. And saying that I'm connecting this with what I said about the ethics around AI, with the fact that AI can generate articles at a click of a button, right? Yeah. I can generate 1,000 articles that can put out there, and some student like me would be out here reviewing, and then my research will be skewed towards whatever the agenda of the data that I looked at has actually brought out. So how do we then, as students, when we are looking for data sources, how do we then figure out which ones are actually authentic data sources as opposed to AI generated? And even in that vein, with people starting to use AI a whole lot more, how do we then say, yes, Lorado has been using AI for her research and has incorporated certain aspects, and this is a valid article as opposed to one that was maliciously created? I know this is
I don't think there's an easy answer to that, unfortunately. And again, this is where the human interaction is going to come in. You are meticulously going to need to investigate, cross-reference, yeah, I don't think there's an easy answer for the students per se, just to say, oh, you've got to trust this. At the moment, with all the upheaval like we saw with Google, with Gemini, or Gemini, and we got to be careful, even with the Microsoft stuff, even with the AWS, the Apple, and everybody else that is putting out AR tools there. You've got to cross-reference. You've got to make sure that information that you are wanting to use and you're going to be interpreting with that data, you need to do the work. It's not going to be a click of a button, unfortunately, not yet, I would think.
Yes. So Elsevier, actually Scopus, I don't know if you know about it, Vivian. Scopus have incorporated, so Elsevier is a big academic publisher. They've just launched their own AI limited to their database. So, but it's not a limited database, guys. It's all academic publishing from all over the world. But we still don't have access to it. But I do think you're going to get more and more things like Web of Science, Elsevier, and all those guys bringing out things. And that's why it's important that you still go to the library and still go through the process of finding information. Because then you would start to see the difference between what has been generated, because you've got your foundation knowledge. And that's why you can't just go and ask and especially in my module, right? It's easy to say, quickly write a rapid review on this. Boom, they enter, then 30 seconds later you get something.
Yeah.
Do you know if what was created is actually rubbish? Do you know if I know that you created something that's rubbish? So it's rather better to go and learn how to find the right information and what the right information looks like and what the content would be. And then you can go play around with AI. But to jump into it first and then think, okay, let's play with it. We do. I've last year, and just a warning also, I play a lot on AI so that I know what the answers look like that it generates. So I know when I write it, and there were a few groups, especially in my module, that got warning emails. And like you said in the beginning, ChatGPT and Copilot is extremely honest.
Yeah.
You ask them, did you write or edit this? And they will say yes.
Yes.
And then how are you going to defend yourself if you used it?
And we again, just another news article that came up was with the students in the Western Cape that in late 2022, when ChatGPT was launched, they were very quick off the mark and they were caught using ChatGPT. And some of their arguments at the moment are very valid. You know, the university didn't say they weren't allowed to use it. So we'll see where all of that goes. But
just to so the university doesn't UNISA either also doesn't say you're not allowed to use it. You're just not allowed to copy and paste from it because then it's plagiarism.
Yeah.
So our policy doesn't say no, don't use AI. It says use your own sources or cite
responsibly.
Yes. And
ethically and responsibly. If you feel you're crossing a line, then you're crossing a line.
Yeah, you would also see the modules also, they do tell you in exam settings, they do tell you not allowed to use any AI tools, not to edit, not to do anything. I actually, for my specific module that requires research, give you ways to use it. I even created prompts, you know, to help you think through, think through the problem identification, right? If you've got a problem, ask it, is it a good problem? How would you recommend we change the problem? But never ask it to find the problem, because then you have forgotten how to reason through it. And the critical thinking that Randir spoke about earlier, you lose.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. Great. Anything else?
Like Mrs. Trollip says, I just want to say, Mrs. Trollip says exam rules state that you are not allowed to use AI. Okay.
Okay. Great. Anything else? Any more questions? Any more observations? Like I said, I will share my presentation and I will share the links, the URL links, some really interesting articles. And if you actually follow those sites, there's a lot of interesting information that Microsoft shares. And I can tell you that Microsoft are at the forefront to make sure that that AI legislation, especially in America, where all of the stuff is bubbling out from, is the legislation, the policy, the governance, the guidance, and all of that is going to be on point. So, and I can only speak from a Microsoft perspective because I work quite closely with them. But if there isn't anything else, thank you so much, Karen, for hosting. David, thank you very much. And we'll check you guys later. Be well.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Vivian. Thank you so much for coming.
Always a pleasure. Be well. Bye.
Be well. I see there's a question that asks if it's okay for AI to grammar check your work. So it will be detected and it will be flagged as AI generated. So in certain modules, they will allow it. Some of the, I think more of the research modules will allow the use of AI for language editing type things. But in the more formal exam type modules, such as strategic management, supply chain management, those type of things, stay away from it. If you make grammar mistakes, it's fine. When you, in the past, a long time ago, when we wrote exams by hand, you never had a spell checker, you never had a grammar checker, you just wrote the answer. I think that is a good idea to use that same type of strategy when you are typing an exam. You know, even if it's an open book exam, study for it and then just type. Type. If you make spelling mistakes, you're not going to be graded on your ability to spell or your grammar. Just answer the question as honestly as you can. For me, that would be the best way of going about writing an exam type thing. When it comes to research modules, ask the coordinator of that module whether or not you are allowed to participate. For HR Bus 83, I do allow the use of AI for editing, no generative things. So you can use it for editing your language. Like you hear, English is not my native language either. So I do I use it myself as a editor. It's much cheaper and quicker than any human editor. But again, don't let it do the thinking. Don't let it go find the information, because until you know the information that is out there, or at least the basics of what is true, you cannot trust what it generates. Okay. Do we have some comments from the floor on this? Perhaps some other lecturers that would have something to say? All afraid of AI. There we go. Dr. Chudakufa.
Yes. I know it's I'm busy with that new module, and
yes, it's
yes,
gonna be
but
fun.
the way we get so afraid of technology, but it's part of life. But knowing how to use it responsibly is very important, because remember, the language that is written for those generative AI systems is very different from the language that we use. And that's how we pick it up, because you start giving us language that we are not familiar with. And you've heard the presenter also sharing there. And also, if you don't know the work, like Dr. Standard said, you just give back rubbish. It will give you rubbish and you submit rubbish. But if you know the work, then you are able to use it to start to think, open up a block in your head, because you know the theory, you know the language, you know what you want to do. I personally use it, but I don't use it for it to tell me what to do. I tell it that here's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for a new way to perhaps bring out a picture or how I can present it to this type of a group. Then I take it. I don't ask it to help me write something for a particular group. I ask it for ideas on how I can do it. The content comes from me. So be very careful, because we can immediately tell that no, this is generated and you didn't do your checks. If you're allowed to use it, you didn't do your checks. You didn't read through the work. You just did a copy paste and put it there. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. There was another hand that came up and then the hand went away. Why are you afraid to say something?
Hi. So I did feel that Dr. Kuda Kwashe did address the concern I had. I think I started maybe, I last studied 4 years ago, and all this talk about AI is sort of scary, and just thinking about how I have a deep appreciation for like, you know, looking at different information from different sources and, you know, trying to come up with, you know, an original idea from that. I have a great appreciation for that, and to be scored, you know, for things that you actually created, I think it's beautiful. But I think as we talk about the AI stuff and the help that's there now, I'm like, is it not good enough? Like what we get to do, and is it you know, I think yeah, there's a so when she was speaking about it, you know, I do feel that there's a relief, originality. I feel there's still a space for that, you know.
Yes. AI is not as creative as you would think it is. You know, it can only give you back what was put in. And you need to, and what honors will teach you, and one of the outcomes for honors is your ability to think critically and to conceive of a problem and to put different parts together. And like I said earlier, you know, AI, you can never tell it, here's the sheep's head, let's shave the head and then shave the back. And there's something in between, right? It will never be able to see that because nobody told it. Whereas if I give to Dr. Chudakufa, if I tell her we're going to shave the sheep and I show her how to shave the head, she will automatically shave the whole sheep, right? Because as humans, we can see more than that was inputted, right? The AI, you will only have a bunch of woolless sheep running around. The rest of the bodies will be covered, you know, so I don't think you guys need to be afraid of it. I think let us embrace it. There's a few sessions this week, especially Prof. Cronje also, right? Well, he's going to show you how to use it and the right way of using it. And then once you know it, it's like a cell phone, guys. My parents were extremely afraid. I think some of the things that I do on a cell phone or my kids do on a cell phone, they would never even try. But and now it's here and it's part of our lives. So let us work with it, not against it, but remember, really remember that we are giving you the tools to find the right information. We're going to teach you what is correct information. What does it look like? What does it not look like? So come on this journey with us and learn to do it yourself. Because once you are able to do it yourself, you know, it's like referencing Buddha. Once you are able to know where all the dots and the commas and things come, you can go use a reference manager because you know when it made a mistake. But until you know where the commas and the points and the capitals and the italics are, and you haven't done it by your hand, you don't know what mistakes are being made. Okay. Okay. Yes, so Grammarly does check. And the other thing, Grammarly is also relatively safe. The one thing, guys, that you also need to watch out, and not all of the AIs does this. They are, I'm not even sure which ones. Maybe David can knows better. But some of them, of these free AI checker tools and that type of thing, they actually take the work that you have now written on your own, and they store it and then they sell it to other people as an assignment on strategic management. So watch out also where you upload what when it comes to checking things. Grammarly, though, is still relatively safe. It does not, as far as I know, do that. David, do you perhaps know? Or are you still in? No, I think I left for now. So we are a bit early on the program. I just want to speak. Dr. Mabasa, are you in? Okay. So we are going to have a bit of a longer lunch break. And then I'm also going to stop the recording for now so that we've got some smaller videos for me to download.
Dr. Sandra?
Dr. Mabasa